First of all, I'd just like to start the class by acknowledging the traditional landowners of this space that I'm in. I'm in this incredible land called Exmouth. I've been on a really wild, red dusty, so forgive my red dust palette, adventure. And within that, I've really gathered some things that I wanted us to work with today. So that acknowledgement of traditional landowners, past, present, and future is really important to me, because you can feel them so richly here in that inland Western Australian desert. And it feels like it's right here. So I'm going to do everything I can to transmit that to you guys today. First up, I'm just going to put you onto gallery view just so that I can see whoever chooses to be seen. And ask you to take a seat. Take a seat so you're comfortable. Bring your arms by the side, just however it is that feels good for you. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. 1, 2, 3. And out through the mouth. 1, 2, 3. In through the nose. And out through the mouth. In through the nose. And out through the mouth. Close the eyes. Just take a moment to feel within the body, within the cells, within the structure of exactly who you are right now as you are. The effect of the slowing down of breath. Our most simple tool. That thing that we took as we exited the womb and met this beautiful thing we call Earth. We opened our mouths and we took a breath. And we stepped from the land of fluid to air. From then on, that was our soothing. Reconnect with that sense of soothing in your own body as you continue to let the breath come in and out. Naturally, easefully, and sweetly. Good. I invite you now to find a space on the ground. If it's not practical for you and the chair is best, just bring your feet to the ground. And take your right hand and place it on your left shoulder, and your left hand and place it on the right shoulder. So that's for those who are seated. If it is practical for you and you know you can, lay down on the ground. Bring both feet to the ground. Hand to shoulder, hand to shoulder. Continue that breath in and out naturally, allowing the connection of the body to the earth. On the next in-breath, take the right hand away from the left shoulder and the left hand away from the right shoulder. Bring the knees into the chest. And as you bring the knees into the chest, allow the hands to take a hold of the knees, opposite hand to opposite knee, and hug your thighs in to meet the belly. The hugging of the thighs in to meet the belly, again, a natural soother for the body. meeting itself, chest to thigh. Swim, float, revel in this sensation of one part of you meeting the other. Linger. Yeah. This position and its variations, and at this point, I'll invite you to roll gently from side to side with the knees and the thighs still pressed against the upper body. Allowing that rhythmic pulse of rolling or of movement to only, so keep it really slow at the beginning. That's it. And allow that pulse to build till it resonates with you at your preference, at your preferred speed as you roll from side to side, reconnecting with this most primal feel of what it's like to be you in this body. So obviously we're pulling back here to being deep within the womb. We're letting that chest, belly, thigh connection, the arms raveling to meet the legs. The chin can come in towards the chest or be freely out. All of these movements are ones that you have known for as long as you've known your body. And there's no wrong and there's no right. It's so perfect. That's it. Now I'm going to invite you to allow these movements to take whatever form fits. So you might, and that's what form fits you. You might bring one foot up towards the sky as you continue to roll and explore. So we're moving from back to side to back. And as you begin to discover that push of the foot reaching up, aching to meet something, you may discover that you have hinge joints, ankles, knees. That's it. And perhaps the other leg chooses to come in as we begin to really access this fluidity that exists in the body. The fluidity, moving through the air, interacting, meeting, and it ripples. And it's exciting, that ripple. Let it ripple. Let it move through. This does not have to be slow, but it might be. Do what's right for you. That's it. So letting the fluidity move through the body, perhaps the arms come into join, which will ripple through from fingers to wrist, to elbow, to shoulder, as we reach out from the fluidity that is our little cells, wanting to reach out and meet. And meet. Good. And meet. And meet. Yet they still ripple back in. And pulse from that center, that beginning, that primal cell. Nice. Okay, find your way into what is traditionally known as happy baby pose. So taking a hold of the outside edges of the feet, the ankle, the shins, the thighs, whatever feels good in your body, as long as the feet are reaching up towards the sky and the back is flat on the ground, or if you're in seated position, the feet are on the ground And the back is supported by a chair. The support is important because we want to feel like we can move into something. We can even use a wall. So we can move into something here. Good. And again, taking that rolling side to side, which in our bodies, you know, when we're carrying what we are carrying in our heart, we all know, we all feel, we all resonate with what's going on for humanity and the earth at the moment. It's rippling through, and we can process this. We can process it in the way that we hold tight and grip through our muscles, through our skeletal system, through our fight, flight, freeze response. You know, whatever words you want to put it, it's a grip. And that grip keeps us here. We want to exercise it, allow this slow opening up. And I've been spending a lot of time in the ocean. And the great teacher of this is, of course, the jellyfish, the octopus, the seaweed. Okay. Full permission now to just move from your fluidity. We will be shifting from fluidity, so don't rush out of it. Allow it to nurture in through the joints. And of course, we're utilizing Earth, our great form creator, to allow the fluidity to bounce back and forth. That's it. Good. Bring the knees to the chest. Bring the arms around the knees and squeeze tight. This is our first moment of bringing something in where we must be tight, formed. Really squeeze in. Use your muscle body. Use your bones to connect in and squeeze. Good. And then release out into a starfish style pattern. So legs and arms out to the side. And squeeze back in. And that's it. This too can be done seated because we squeeze in and out. It's that pulse coming from our center. Now, often in yoga, we talk about our center, you know, and for some people it's the heart or the solar plexus or the navel center. Right here, right now, make it where you move from. Ditch all that you've known about what a center is and find it in your own body. And you know, it might exist in your left rib cage, even though I point to my right. And if that left rib cage is your center, then that's your center for right now. And that's where you move from. Imposing restrictions, replacing primal preferences causes as much grip in the body as exposure to toxins like, I don't know, COVID epidemics. We want to make sure that we've got that there. Good, so we should be now feeling quite warmed up from this squeezing in, exhaling out. Great. And make your way onto your mat into a cat-cow pose. Take your time coming up here. It's a big move. We've gone from being very fluid to very animal-like. Bring the hands down and don't move for a moment. Allow the structure of the body to find itself. Visualize if that's your way. Trace if that's your way. Sound if that's your way. Whatever allows you to connect in, you can feel while I do it if you like, if that's your way. That's it. Whatever allows you to connect into the structure of the body that we call bones. That vibrant superhighway, just as much as the nervous system, of sense, structure, and connection. And the natural consequence of strength, structure, and connection is resilience. Good. On the next in-breath, move through a series of cat-cows. So I say move on the in-breath so that the exhale allows you to connect with the impact of that movement. Good. Rippling through the bones, through the structure. And when I say bones, you might end up in the connective tissue, which is quite okay. But if you can feel into your bones, go there, because that marrow is where we want to access today. Good. One more of those. And curl the toes and make your way into a downward dog. Bend your knees. Take the hips from side to side. Wriggle through. Find some movement as you settle in. The reason why we look to find that movement before our form in down dog is because we started with fluidity. Let's keep that nurturing way moving through the body, hydrating us, informing us, allowing that reciprocal action, I suppose, is probably the best word. Good. And now settle into your downward dog. Beautiful. Let the right leg lift into three-legged dog. We won't be here much longer. Then bring the knee to the chest and allow the knee to rest between the hands as you come into pigeon prep. So in pigeon prep, I like to step my back foot back as far as I can to make sure that I get a nice good stretch, not just through the outer hip, but also through the hip flexor at the front. Come up onto the finger pads and invoke lizard. Good. Dreamtime animals. Lizard. So let the gaze and the whole skull turn to the right. Back to the center and to the left. Back to the center. Good. Good. Doing some lion's breath. In breath. Three at the front. Moving the head to the right. 3 lion's breath to the right. Good. Back to the center. Over to the left. 3 lion's breath to the left. Back to the center. Just take a moment to feel the freedom, the activity in the tongue, and the inside of the mouth. Jaw releases through lion's breath. It is such a good kindness breath for the body. It allows you to release excess tension that, you do or you don't own, but either way you're carrying it, so why not let it flow through you rather than take hold? And on the next in-breath, you can settle on in to a pigeon prep, however it is that you like to be. So forearms reaching forward, arms inverted, so palms face up. Take whatever it is that feels right for you. And right for you does not mean what you think you should be doing. Just want to clarify that. More so what actually right here, right now, in this skin, in this flesh, in these bones, resonates as true. Good. Slowly make your way back up. Press down through the hands, curl the toes of the left foot, lift the left knee, and push back all the way to 3-legged dog. And spiral. And play with that right leg, the right hip. I have a wall to play with. That's it. Good. And then back to downward dog. And for a moment, come down to child's pose. It's my preference to pause for a moment here to allow the rippling of the opening of the right side to find its new form, to let the fluid of the body move into this new form. We've met any constrictions, we've moved with them, we've moved through them, and we've expressed them on that right side. Through the pelvis, the knees, the ankles, perhaps the shoulders and the neck, definitely the jaw. Let that land. Beautiful. Good. Okay, and then slowly make your way back up to downward dog. If it feels right in your body, move through cat-cow on the way. Good. And in your downward dog, let the left leg rise up. Reach the foot back. Bring the knee into the chest and let the knee land between the hands as we come into our pigeon prep on the other side. Allowing this side just as much love, time, ease as we did the other. Coming up onto the finger pads. So what I mean by that is this kind of clawed feel. If you have blocks and that's your preference, of course you can use your blocks here. Good. It allows the chest to open. It allows the curve of the lower back to be coming to a more stable posture, I suppose, so that we're not collapsing here, nor are we artificially holding up. Just find that neutral, that easeful. Good. Looking forward. 3 lion's breaths. Actually, no, sorry. Look forward. Look to the left. Giving the trapezius, the scalenes, the muscles of the neck, throat, chest, and upper back a moment to respond. Back to the midline. And then over to the right. Good. Rippling, registering, using the mind to register any unraveling that may or may not be occurring, any gripping that may or may not be occurring, and registering without fixing, just with love of this is me, this is what I hold, this is what I carry, this is how I love. Good. Back to the middle. And now we're taking that's starting to build up as a bubbling, almost fire-like zone. And we're moving it into our lion's breath. 3 breaths. Mouth is open so wide. Good. So 3 lion's breaths. And move towards the left. So the gaze, the skull, the chin, move towards that left shoulder, just to the point where you can feel an activity, not a tension. Good. In breath. Good. Back to the midline. And over to the right. Beautiful. Slowly back to the midline. And here you can walk your way forward onto the forearms. The arms stretched out. That's it. And let the body respond in your pigeon pose. So if you should still be in pigeon pose, ideally. Good. Letting this whole left side of the body delve. Know the grips. And on the next in-breath, slowly bringing the hands by the side of the knees, mat width apart. Curl the toes of the right foot, lift the right knee off of the mat, push back through the right foot. This takes some activity, this takes some will force, and shows our resilience to move from that to this. All the way up, 3-legged dog, bends the knee, roll the foot, kick the wall. That's it. Good, and come back to down dog. Awesome. Here in down dog, walk the feet towards the hands till you are in forward fold. Keeping an eye on the timing here. In forward fold, allow the right hand to come up to the left shoulder, the left hand to come up to the right shoulder. So we're back to that connection through hand to scapula, and by shoulder, of course, we're discussing that point where the arm meets the back, scapula, collarbone. Good. Let the head hang down. Let the weight, the combined weight of the arms and the upper body hang suspended in air. Good. Release the left hand from the right shoulder and bring it to the top of the left hip at the back. Release the right hand and bring it to the top of the right hip at the back. Good. Bend the knees and allow the upper body to rest on the thighs. A reconnection back to when we were laying on the mat. Find a little bit of rocking forwards and back to the balls and the heels of the feet. Shift the weight to the right foot. Shift the weight to the left. So really connecting in with the feet through this lowered center of gravity. And then again, right hand to left shoulder, left hand to right shoulder, and slowly, and I mean slowly, like as if you were the world waking up for the first time. Slowly roll up. And each moment, each momentous disconnection and connection, map your body, map your responses, map your feelings, map your releases, map your grips, and bring the arms slowly up to be reaching up towards the world. Good. Come to here. Let the gaze reach up towards that space between the palms. And feel the fire, feel the connection of who you are as a human standing here in your space. Good. Bring the hands to the heart center. Before we go any further, I invite you to take a few moments of gratitude. Please stay standing. Gratitude for the ability to move through fluidity, to structure, to floatiness, to action, to rest, to sleep, to dream, and to the Turiya state, what I call the Turiya state from my tantric training. The dimensional aspect that we reach in our meditations. Dimensional. Everything's dimensional. The free state. Gratitude for every taste, every interaction, every action that we experience in these gifts of humanity. And in that gratitude, feel the love, deep, pulsing, courageous, feisty, soft, sweet, unending love that conspires to allow you, as you, to respond, to react, to interact with, to be a part of. And then take that sense of you and bring both hands to the top of the skull. The hands will be quite warm after being in prayer. Bring the hands over the skull and down the throat. And then back up and sweep one hand over the forehead and one hand underneath. And back the other way. Hands up onto the skull, back down through the throat. One hand over the forehead, one hand following the line of the jaw. That's it, down the throat. One more of those. Up, down, cross, back, cross, back, down the throat. Leave the hands on the heart center. Our skull, I don't know about you, but I've traditionally known it as a center of intuition. A point where I gather in impressions, nerve sensey, feels, thoughts, concepts. But I'm increasingly beginning to see it as a seat of instinct. And this instinct, centered in the skull, moves through the processes, xiphoid, mastoid. Indulge me on this. I'm really interested to hear what you find in your own body. So that even in the most intuitive part of our body, which, hey, I'm definitely one, I've been lost in, lost in this area. Even here, we feel the seats of instinct reminding us that this is what we are. And those words that we are made of stars resonate here as we are made of stars, and it's perfect in its form. We seek not to transcend, not to move out of, but literally to drink in every impression, every response, even those icky ones that we'd prefer not to, because we've got this. We've got this form. We've got this capacity. We have this way. Unique, not just a word, a reality, to each and every one of us. And what's more, we're conspiring to make it the best possible outcome for each and every being. We know this, that when we're us, when we're here, this is what we do. Good. Okay, so now take the right hand and take it over the left shoulder, down the left arm, release the left arm out and flick the hand. Right hand over the, left hand over the right shoulder and flick the hand. So just moving through this flicking. We're not removing anything here. This is not an energetic flicking out. This is a waking up. This is a look at all of these senses, all of this capacity, all of this way. I'm having to bend, but that's okay. It's just so I've been. That's it. Flick, wake it up, let it be known. Yeah, good. And you can even come up the side of the body and flick and moving into our nerve senses as we play now with this zone. That's it. Good. Awesome. Now that movement is big, so start to play with that. The head has already been woken up. Let the arms, let the shoulders move. Flicking, because they can take their fluidity, and they can move it around. And they can feel the air moving through and they can play. And it's fun. And it's alive. And it's our birthright. So play. Good. Excellent. Okay, and then pause and bring the hands to the navel center. Navel center. Let everything settle. So that in our play, in our explorations, we're not losing energy. We're not leaking. We're just enlivening. We take the moments as we need them. Yeah. Good. Now here in the lower belly, explore the pelvis, the glutes, the thighs. There's a different feeling, a different sensation here. We want warmth. So you might choose to make it fast. You might choose to make it slow and firm. For me, it always needs to be firm in this area. That's it. The beauty of this form. Not an external beauty, but that beauty that is the alchemical response of all the parts of you as a form. It's incredible. It's architecture at its finest. Good. Now bring it down to the knees, the insides of the knees, the bony parts, the backs. Marvel at what this is. You know, we go and marvel at buildings. Marvel at this. Not saying building marveling is wrong. I love building marveling. Good. That's it. I like to have my feet wide here because, I don't know, it just feels nice. Go down to the shins. Around to the calves. Not the ankles yet. Keep it at the shins and the calves. Good. Excellent. And then come into a squat. However it is. Good. Now here in the squat, shift the weight to the right foot and explore the left ankle. So I come up onto the, just to show you, I come up onto the ball of my left foot and I explore the ankle. And here, these wonderful digits, use them, massage these areas, ankle, feet, that's it. And then switch across to the other side as you're ready. Good. Now you'll notice the difference in the energy here. After all of that movement, we're warmed up, we're fiery. It's like, oh, I don't want to be sitting for this long. So come on up and stomp. So let the knees move. That's it. And the temptation is to bring the arms in, but just wait a moment. Just let the lower body have its time. Good, and bounce. I don't know, do whatever. Just move. Legs. Skip. You can bring the arms in because how impossible is it to not have your arms move? That's it. Wiggle, skip. Get the energy flowing through. Bouncing. You might find a little wall to kick off. It's like meeting it. Woo! That's it. Good. Keep moving the legs. Beautiful. And slow it down. So we're just walking now. Slow it down. Oh, how is that? We jump from like, whoa, 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 to, oh. Let's come back and see if we can make that transition a little wider, a little more space, so that it's not up to down. It's like, whoa. Beautiful, ladies, loving it. And make your way to seated, to Shavasana, whatever works. Make your way to the spot where you can feel the whole of your form in all its bubbling, playful self. That's it. And let the breath enter in and out, just as it chooses, centering into your preference. It's the bubbling, of our nervous system or our senses enlivened and open, turns inwards. Discover the wonders of your own deep, deep universal ocean. Deep, wide, spacious, and oh so easeful self. What a magical form. And the more intimately we know this, the more capacity we have to know that. So that when we meet another, when we interact, when we journey, when we meditate, oh, that word, it's so loaded. When we come home to our vehicle, to our earth, to our portal, all of the capacities, all of the openings, all of the potential pathways are as clear as they ever have been. And it's then that we know, Hamsa, Hamsa, Hamsa.